If I ever fall for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to stay. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me you can't let go. Couldn't stand to be kept away just for the day from your body. Wouldn't wanna be swept away, far away from the one that I love. Hold me now. It's hard for me to say I'm sorry. I just want you to know. Hold me now. I really want to tell you I'm sorry. I could never let you go. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, you're just a part of me you can't let go. After all that we've been through, I will make it up to you. I promise to. You're gonna be the lucky one. It's late in the evening, just wandering close to where she puts on her makeup and brushes her long blonde hair, and then she asks me, do I look alright? And I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. We go to a party, everyone turns to see this beautiful lady is walking around with me. And then she asks me, do I look alright? I say yes, you look wonderful tonight. I feel wonderful because I see the love light in your eyes, and the wonder of it all is that you just don't realize how much I love you. time to go home. And you've got an aching head, so give her the car keys. She helps me to bed, and then I tell her, as I turn off the lights, they say, my darling, you look wonderful tonight. Oh, my darling, you look wonderful tonight. When I feel like I was gone now, and I need you so bad, and I don't know where you are, I cry this tears. On our own, we've been so far. We've sworn at the moon, and we've counted a million stars. My love, still true. Friends have come and gone. Some have left me alone, but I stare at these walls before they made me blue. All along my heart I've known there's one thing in my life that still rings true. I can count on you. Count on you to be there. No questions in the air. No asking why. No looking back. Count on you every time. To ease my worry mind. You forever be important to me, my America fine. If I had to choose one place to spend my rest of my days, anywhere would do, long as it's close to you. Oh. traveled so far, yet I'm right back where you are. Just me and you. Now and forevermore, as the years rolls by, I'm beginning to see that I can count on you.
Hello. Okay, could I have your attention, please? You get the competing music. Thank you. Good evening. Everybody knows, I guess, why we're gathered here. But before we start, I want to ask the Reverend for the area, St. Catherine and St. Mark, to come and address us and give us some blessings. Ma'am?
The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Sovereign God, at this evening hour, we pause in the midst of all that we are doing to give you thanks and praise for yet another day and the miracle of life. We acknowledge your presence among us as we continue to give you thanks for the life of one who lived and worked and shared his gift and skills in this community and beyond, our beloved Cappy. And as we fellowship together in word and song and food, may we ever be conscious of the fact that whatever we do, that it be done to the honor and glory of your name and the upliftment of each other. Bless the hands that would have provided. Bless, Lord God, the ones who would have said, okay, to have this gathering. And at the end, may we say it was good for us to be here. Hear this our prayer, for we ask it in your Son's name with thanksgiving. Amen. And back to Matt, the man of the area.
Yes, ma'am. You are the reverend and the priest of the area. But your area is much wider than mine. I'm just Bayfield. You are Martyville, Bayfield, Supers, Merricks, everybody. This is our opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to pay tribute as we would normally have wanted to. But the circumstances, our brother, the status that he had reached, he was afforded the type of ceremony that did not allow us to do what we normally do. So this is to sort of fill the gap. And this is the opportunity for anybody that want to speak tonight to say what they want to say on behalf of Cappy Greenidge. I have some names here because I went ahead and saw the people that are willing to speak. There's some that, of course, are nervous and scared. You won't believe it. I will do my tribute in pieces because what happened to is I want to make sure that the tributes are not too long because I have an appointment on Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And I would like to make that, please. The first person that volunteered most readily and warmed my heart that will come and say a few words on behalf of Cappy is a personal friend and a workmate, Mr. Patrick Grissett. I know Grissett, but the Patrick won't come in just now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Patrick Grissett.
Good evening, all. Good evening. Where do I start? Born in Marleyville, I was. Grew up. Little boy coming up. You see this. What we would, funny enough, when we were like that, everybody was like a big man. But, and as it turns out, he's only what? 6 years in front of me. But he was always of tall stature. But a lot of respect, and basically that's what it was, respect. But as everyone would know about me, I, along with my cousin Bennett, we checked out and went to England. And then in my travels back here, I have always made sure that I encountered Cappy and conversed with him about this, that, and the next. Always learning something. And then I decided, well, head against the brick wall every day. I got up in England, so I was moving back to Barbados with the help of Cecile. I know Noah would laugh, that's why I said it. And even before I got on that plane to come back here, Cappy was already giving me help. When I say help, things that were happening as far as what you call returning nationals is concerned. And all that I appreciated. And then I arrived here, and as fate would have it, I came back here working in the optical industry, and I used to conduct my business from the constituency office, where when Rose Jordan wasn't there, I would answer the phone. Good morning, St. Philip North constituency, how may I help you? And then one day, Eleanor said to me, I spoke with Rudolph, and he readily agreed. And we've arranged an appointment for you to go to government headquarters, Bay Street. Says, why, what for? You have an appointment at Cabinet Office. Now, I know what Cabinet Office is. I mean, I'm speaking now about England. I said, what the hell am I doing all the way up there? Cabinet Office? Anyway, cut a long story short, I finished up as personal assistant to Mr. Greenidge. And that has been, for me, a learning experience about the Barbados that I had lost in the 30 years that I was away. And I would say that my assimilation back into the Barbadian way of life, I gave him a lot of benefit for the smooth transitioning that would have happened. I can now travel St. Philip North, let's call it that, and include Brayton at the time. And someone will shout my name. When I'm going past, I like to have the windows down because folks will shout you. And it was all because of Mr. Greenidge. I earned the respect of the folks in St. Philip North quicker and smoother than I'm sure if I was traveling my own road. And for that, I'm grateful. I'm thankful to him. He has taught me a lot about the Barbados of today. We had many a conversation. Even my mother's accusing me now, not accusing, but she's saying, oh, Cappy gone, poor Cappy, and she's crying all the time. But you see that one there? He knows everything about Cappy. I says, how do you know that? But, you know, we had a fantastic relationship. To the extent that like I said, I came back in the optical industry, and then I started doing cricket umpiring in 1997. And would you believe it? Cappy did not know that I was a cricket umpire until 1999. And I used to do weekday matches. School cricket. Weekends didn't really, I got away with that. I wasn't hiding. It's just that he was at ease. And we were canvassing opposite Windward Cricket Club a Saturday morning. And I said to him, went like that, I says, I want to leave a little bit early today because I got a game starting at 12:30. A game? What are you talking about? I said, a cricket match. You playing? Who you playing for? I said, no, I'm an umpire. You're an umpire? And it just went on from there. I mean, he says, okay, yeah, well, when you're ready. And he's never asked me. I would always have to say to him, the game went so-and-so, I had such and such an incident, but he would never come to me about umpiring. The only other time that we would encounter that sort of conversation would be I would say to him, I have to go to Antigua or Trinidad or wherever. He says, all right, I'll see you when you get back. And that's how we operated. And all these things I am thankful for. He never put any stress on me, any pressure on me to do this or do that. I always tried to preempt anything that he wanted done in the office. And the rest is history. And that history has now come to a sudden halt where I thought, if I could speak to him, I'd say, man, you bowled me a fast Yorker. Because, yeah, that's the way it was. But to him, I'm thankful. I've been here 6 years, something like that. And I've gotten to know all you guys. I'm settled in Barbados and feel amongst friends as well as family. And I want to thank you all for embracing me back here in Barbados. And most of it I give to Mr. Greenidge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There was a point that nobody knew he was an umpire. But now we just hear people say, Dad, you might as give me out. Next name I have here is Percy Braffett. Percy, you must know your name. I know you know what the days when we used to play at St. Catherine's right here. So them is, yeah, remember the old bro. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm not the best speaker in the world, but I know Cappy for years. We played cricket together. We almost came up together. We used to call him, I had a name years ago, we used to call him Felix. And if you know that, Felix, we played together for Princess Margaret. Maurice Mason, who is sitting there right now. You remember that, Maurice? I think he hit the biggest ball, furthest ball ever seen at Princess Margaret. Maurice. And me and Cappy played against, I think it was Victoria. And they had a guy who used to umpire for Victoria. They used to walk with their own umpires. Used to see it so bad. Right? He stole out 7 or 8 people. And Cappy was there. Cappy pad up to a ball, right? He might give him out. And the ball went down the leg side. And Rudolph, we all came together. We used to play marble cricket together. We pitched marbles together. We had some good times together. I mean, it hurt my heart, how he went. It was hurting. Every evening, he would come by barrel shop and play his tonk and whatever. And when I heard about his passing, it shocked me so badly, because they said he went to St. Catherine, to the St. Catherine Fair, and he bought some fish cakes for the guys. And somebody said he said that his head's feeling light. And Eric told him, I hope you get one safe. You know, take it easy and get one safe. Next thing I heard, you know, I feeling well. I don't know how he passed away, home or hospital. I don't know. I don't know the real details. But it was shocking to all of us. I mean, a good man, a general giant, as Mayor would say, never heard a bad word come with his mouth yet. Easy, when he come his hand behind his back, but the thing that hurt me, I grew a little cane at me, right? He said, Percy, don't forget you owe me some canes. I ain't get there yet, you know. I said, boy, I sorry, no, he never got the can from me, but I sorry they had to drink some of the same cans. But man, we got to realize that life got to go on. We don't know who's next, you know. And I wish the family well, and the friend stay strong, and realize life got to go on. And I wish you well, all the family. Stay firm and strong. We got to realize someday we got to go too. May he rest in peace.
Well done, sir. How many people remember when St. Catherine was up here, just around the corner there? You remember? No, I said how many? But these young boys don't know what it is. All the way there here, but look, banging on about it, so I don't bang over that. But the founders of St. Catherine's, I did some research on them, and there were 6 people that I came up with. Two headmasters. One was husbands, and one was Morel. Then there was Walker. See, it was Walker, the entrepreneur. He had a printing thing there. And then there's a guy called Seeley. I never met him, but I found his wife, and she gave me some pictures. And that's 5. There was one other guy I'm missing. Oh, Blades. 2 Blades, sorry. 2 Chelsea Blades and Broxy Blades. So these are people that were business people. Like Broxy Blades had a shop. Cephas had his own company. He would do printing. They had headmasters. So when they read the first constitution, it never mentioned cricket at all. It was about community service and about education. And because that's what those people wanted for this area at the time. And I remember we used to go in the club and they had debates going on. They had dominoes, of course. It was loud, and Andy Cap was probably the loudest person. A fellow called Cossie, was a Cossie over there. And there'd be arguments. And then table tennis was a great game that we used to play at the time too. Taylor was good at table tennis. Cappy was good at table tennis. And they put on plays. I remember I used to go and watch plays as a little boy. You know, I would get him free. We just would play about 10 cents or so. But those are really the days that really started with this whole community effort. Somehow cricket came and took over, but it wasn't about that for the beginning. The next person we have here is a man from the area that would give you history upon top of history, Mr. Lifcut Jordan. He come from right around the corner here.
Good evening, everyone. What I'm about to say now, I don't think Quartz, Pam, Eleanor, none of his siblings would know Cappy as well as I do. Cappy and I grew up in the same yard. I was living here, and he was living right there at his grandmother. He was raised with his grandmother. I don't know where she get the name from, but she used to call him Dardick. I never know another name, and that sounds like an old-time name. A woman always, you know, the old women always got a white head tie, and she Cappy. And he could never stray away too far from home, because as soon as he misses, Rudolph, and he got to be back and come. So the only friend you got is me. So we will get milk cans, the little milk cans, and play cricket in the road. Because in them days, you know, the wild fowls will be laying eggs in the bush just above. So we can't just go in there and steal eggs. So he's left-hander, so the bush there. So I bought the can at him, you hit it in the bush, and then we go on and take up some eggs. Get the cocoa tin, get some cane peeling, and boil some eggs in it. So we move on with that. Cappy and I would walk on mornings from Mardyville down to St. Catherine's School every day barefooted. Because in days you had no shoes. You got to come through them pimp the bush and head down so. Back up the road on evenings. So you got me little fights and scrambles and things. But we were always friends. Cappy, then when he passed, he went to Harrison College. He moved back. Because he couldn't stand with his grandmother, then he moved back up by his mother's place up there. So, by Nana. When he went to school and then, he would always come back to me. He never left Marleyville. One thing at Cappy, he never ever left this area. Cappy would find his way down here every day. So you go on that path there and play football. You ain't got no shoes. So one day we down there playing with this ball and he like this dribbling and stepping over and stamping and thing. And I tackled him and he said, move, you bruise, you're full, because he used to call it bruise. He tried to shift me, and when he went to cross the ball, his big toe stuck in the mulchy root. And all the top of his toe cut off. I got him hand around my shoulder down the head in for home with him. Time passed. But then, he went on then to teach at Princess Margaret. He went to university and thing. And then he went on to the Turks and Caicos Islands to teach. So I miss him. But every time he come back, he would come in and look for me. So he went on so till he come back then for good and he built there. By that time, my mother moved her house now on my father's property down here where I live right now. So one day, I went to Cappy, I got to get some land transfer over into my name and whatever. You got to pay stamp duties and taxes and things. So Cappy went, and when he finished, he called me one day and have these papers here for you, boy. And I go and take them up. I said, how much for you? He said, take up them and left my house. Straight so, never take a cent. He had that building there. He was running it in the bar and a restaurant. I used to be down below with the boys and things. So I used to come in Lime there all the time. So he get fed up with it. He said, Scott, you can do something with this place. I said, like, well, he said, man, come in here and see what you can do and sell your thing. So I start selling some alcohol, like a normal bar and food and whatever. So when it come to the time now, I go on to Cappy the phone out, book the rent and whatever. He said, pay the light bill, pay the water bill. I don't want no rent money from you. Never, ever, ever. Don't care what Cappy do. Always my friend to the end. When Cappy went into politics, don't care where Cappy go. Listen, you ready to move? I said, we are going to there. I got a spot meeting such and such a place. I said, man, but I can't think. He said, you're my bodyguard. You're the bodyguard without a gun. you come. So he and I would always go, don't care where Cappy going. I ride in shotgun. Up in the front, and he and I gone. The first thing that he won, we had a spot meeting in Church Village. And he said, we got this big meeting in Bay Street. Why should he be keeping a spot meeting? He said, man, I'm going to make this last round, and then we're going so. So we went, keep the meeting, and then we head out to Bay Street. So when me and Jumbo walking behind, I hear some man for, them got to be bodyguards, boy. Then got to be bodyguards. And Cappy looking back and smiling. Anyhow, we gone on to Bay Street and thing. So I could tell you a lifelong story about Cappy, because we were the best friends you could ever meet. When Cappy wants something cooked, coming for me. Don't forget, this weekend I want such and such a thing, because he love cooked biscuit and fish. He like stuffing. So he have what to bring. And I would tell him, you go in the supermarket and bring the stuff and give me to cook. But one thing he and I couldn't get along for. Cappy, when I finish cook for Cappy, and Cappy going along, putting his hand in his pocket. Hold this here. I said, Cappy, man, you got to stop this. I don't want the money from you. He said, you here, wait till you hold on on this. And it hurt in my heart to take it for the things that he have done for me. You understand me? But you need to insist that thing. The last time I cooked something for him was about 6 weeks ago, something. And he had my pot, he didn't bring it back. So I saw him at a funeral up there. And I walk up to him, Alva, you eat my pot? He said, it won't by me, man. I can bring it down for you. A week passed and I said, so one day I saw him pulling the yard and I walked and went to him. I said, where's my pot? He said, there. I said, give me my cake down. He said, man, this guy ain't gonna look good if you walking home with a pot in your hand. Let me drive it down for you. But he still took a couple of days. The Sunday turned in the yard there with it. Hand in pocket again, going for money. I said, man, you and your car get out of my yard, go from here. Right? So thing. So the Thursday now, I mean, fast word. He always promised, because I have a problem with my passport, with my name. Since they had this new thing at the registry and thing that they go in them books to realize that my name isn't really right. I went to school because he always called me Liart, because that's the name he know, Liscott. He know me as Liart from school. But my name is really Liart, Lytcott. So I tell him, man, I went to get a passport and then give me back the old passport and tell me I got to go and get an affidavit and get a police certificate of character and all these things to get back a passport. He said, man, come to me get an affidavit. And that's the only thing, and that's just the other day, and I didn't went and get it. That's the only thing that really thing. But Thursday, now, he and I were sitting together, as Percy was saying. Cappy was there, Livy Garette there, and I was here. And the last thing Cappy said to me, he said, Livy, pass those fish cakes. And I'm not a real lover of fish cakes. He passed the fish cakes, and Ansel, he would tell you, said, the bag got in anymore, and he passed them over my head to Ansel. And he looked wrong so, and he said to me, around 8 o'clock, man, I'm going down the road. He never tell me how he feel now. He said, going down the road. And that was about 8 o'clock. He got up, and he walked, he said something to Velma, and then he walked to his car. I was surprised when I went to that funeral the following day, the Friday. On my way to Patrick's house there, where Marvin came from, Norville or somebody come and tell me, man, you get the bad news? I said, my man, Cappy dead. If you step me, you can find blood. It hurt me so much that I never went to Courage area out there the funeral. I got up feeling so ill, that's the truth. And normally I feel within myself that I'm a strong man. But it really hurt me. You can hear it in my voice, guys. I had to choke up. That man was my friend to the end. And I miss him very much. Thank you all. Thank you.
We gotta get through. You say you had a shotgun? You say you ride shotgun or something, so without a shotgun. Suppose if you ride these bad boys, they got to know and they hear about shotgun, they're gonna bring their own, you know. I mean, that's just the way. I remember you got the part about fouls too. I don't know. I thought you were going to explain about feeling the foul. But that was my job. I must say I was one of the top foul fielders in the whole world. You got to go and check. Y'all probably don't know. I had to go and check the folks to see how many A's we get in the next day. And you had to be precise. Because what happened sometimes, I knew when it was ready, like the day after or the next day. That's the kind of expert that I was. I didn't easy. The next person, Maurice Mason, you can make it, I got to bring the mic to you, sir. Okay. Maurice and this brother go all the way back.
Good evening, everyone. Well, I don't know where to start, but I remember Cappy and I sat at St. Catherine's School, and Cappy going to be 80 in a few months. I had my 80th birthday in April. And we were friends throughout the whole of our lives. And this is the part that I'm going to start with to show you what happened. When Cappy was chosen for the candidate for St. Philip North, our past Prime Minister, Owen, asked Cappy, but, you know, who you got to work with? He said, well, I got Maurice. Owen said, who? I said, Maurice. He said, Maurice Mason. He said, but he's a dem. Cappy said, well, I asked him if he would support me, and he said yes. So that's all I had to say. He said, anyhow, all right, okay, you said so. So one day I went to my house and I received a letter from our past Prime Minister, Owen Arthur, and he told me, well, thanks for the support that I'm going to give to Cappy, and blah, blah, blah. And I said to Cappy, but why Owen said to you, Maurice is a dame? He said, well, because I used to speak on the Democratic Labour Party platform, and my old schoolmate here, he knew all about those days, because I used to speak against him too when he represented St. Philip North. Yes, and when Cappy said to Owen that Maurice can support me, Owen said, but Maurice is a dame. Cappy said, well, if he tell me that he can support me, I know he can support me. And that was it. And during the campaign, from the very first meeting that Cappy kept, I chaired the meeting, the very first. And he and I stayed together through all the time when he represented St. Philip North. And believe me, my brother here, Aaron, as we call him, y'all wouldn't know these names, but we call him Aaron, and don't ask me where the name come from, but we call him Aaron. And he was one of those that was with us all the time. And I will say that we did a good job because he won the seat. Now, let me go to a different topic. When I was home a few days ago, who was it? I don't remember who it was, but somebody said, Cappy dead. I said, what? I said, Cappy dead. I said, what? And I was shocked. Believe me, I was shocked. And I called Morel because I know that she used to cook for him and all that. And she said yes. He gone about 2 hours ago. And it was was shocking to me. But I'm going to tell you about the shocking part of it. A few weeks ago, well, I don't know if it was months or maybe ago, I lost a cousin of mine. And a lot of you here would know Wizard. I know that a lot of you would know Wizard. And I would, at karaoke, I would see Wizard and he would sing and all that for us and everything. And that was the first shocking death that I had. But the second was Cappy. And they always say that deaths come in threes. But I don't know if it's going to be me or who it's going to be. But be sure that the third is on the way. When I was speaking to my sister Sandra, because at Cappy funeral, because Di knows there's my wife here. Everybody knows she. And I stopped going to funerals for a long time because it wasn't easy for me to walk about and so on with the stick and all that. And at the funeral, when she was approaching the funeral home, she called Di and said, I told the others to put you all to sit in the same seat as me. But honestly, I didn't know anything about that. So they didn't do that, but she sent the lady to escort us to the seat. I sat down. I was the fourth person in the seat. And believe me, I didn't even say good morning or good evening or anything to her that day. Because the funeral was going on. So I decided, well, I can call her, later on from home. So I called her and I said to her, my dear, thanks for what happened at the funeral, and it was a hard thing that we sat so close together and we didn't even say good morning or good evening to each other. So we went on, we spoke about different things and so on. But I said to her, Sandra, we know that Cappy died suddenly. I said, Sandra, how do you feel about it? And this is a different vein I'm going into now. She said, well, what are you talking about? I said, how do you feel about it? Because these things happening suddenly. So it could happen to any one of us. How do you feel about it? She said, well, I know I'm not ready. I said, yes. That's why I said we're going to a different vein. She said, I know that I am not ready. I'm not ready yet. I said, well, you better get ready because I know I'm ready. I know I'm ready. So she said, well, I will go get ready. I don't know what's keeping her from being ready. But I know I've been trained because I used to live an easy life. And many of you around here would know that Maurice Mason was not easy. Yes. But thank God, I've given my life to Christ. And I want to say to all of you here, my friends and family, get yourself ready. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I guess you put fears on my heart here, too. I can confess I've been ready for a long time. As I have a long time ago, I recognized that you have to die. And if you understand that you have to die, then it makes no sense worrying about dying. You're just wasting time worrying about dying. You should worry about the quality of life you can live. Because you can die anyhow. So make something, make a contribution, make a difference. And I would say that that's what Cappy did. Cappy made a difference to a lot of people's lives. In fact, my philosophy tells me he made a difference to the world. Because we live in the same world as the rest. And if you make a difference in your village, by extension, you made a difference in your parish. And if you make a difference in your parish, by extension, you made a difference in your country. And if you made a difference in your country, by extension, you made a difference in the world. And be speaking about a brother that did make a difference in so many ways. When I was called and told his dad, he said, "I'm straight, this is what you call a community loss. A big community loss." As he said before, he never left Marleyville. What I admire about this man, I mean, we worked together at Prince Mark School. That's where the name of Quiz came from. Some people know he called me a Quiz. And they called you a Quiz, that way it came from that school. We interacted there. But this man was, when he played Tonk or dominoes, I don't know if y'all paid attention, but he never used words that he felt would intimidate anybody. We know he mastered the English language. As a matter of fact, there's nobody in the world, I believe, that could enunciate as good as Cappy Greenidge. Every letter is get a Jew when Cappy speaks. If you can say list, you can hear the T at the end, list. That's how we used to speak. That's when he's speaking in Parliament, or in Cabinet, or in the Senate. But when he did with the fellas, he would never speak in such a way that would cause him to be uncomfortable. He taught the dialects, and he was just like that. And I believe he did deliberately, because he wanted everybody to be comfortable. And I appreciate, too, how he all used to refer to him as minister all the time. Give him respect right through. A giant of a man. I remember I almost got in trouble already because of him. In the school sports, he was in my team. Hal Got you on the same team. We did Philippians. Had a bomb team. Stanton Ford, Ralph Weeks, two of the fastest in the whole island. Alibaba was the top long distance runner in Barbados. George Griffith. Alvin Pension Puncher was the top runner. Alvin Griffith. Cat Taylor, Franklin, all the way in the same thing. President was Springer, all the way in the same club. I at law school and Harrison College don't agree, never agree, and we'll never agree. We just boo them just boo we. And we just sing a song, oh, where is college? Maybe the Lodge Bend. And when them say, oh, where is Lodge Bend? Then maybe we say, in St. John. This day we had sports. I dressed up in my lodge attire because you had to go to sports in tie, blazers, and everything. And then you missed day in college there, and we here. We were running at Kensington Oval. We didn't have no stadium. And they had this 400-meter race, and Bertrand Capital from Lodge was the champion. Everybody expected to win. Huh? 440, they didn't meters, the yards, 440 yards. And they didn't have no lanes, so we run in scratch. So when they come around and straight, they're almost in line, and suddenly so this Cappy Greenidge like left the pack. You know me, we left the pack, left them, and went about business. Out there and just moving. I said, what the hell is this? And I said, yes! And I looked right and like, hey, I had to take it back. Because large men would have beat me for cheering for a man from college. I was happy because he's my team. But Mr. Simmons, I can't do that. Cheer for a man from college. So I had to discipline myself and then play a quarrel. But when he came up here, then later on, I would say, congratulations. He used to work out with people in the morning too. I know who here used to work out with the club. We had a squad there at the club in the morning. And he used to come and work out. I remember I had to fire Andrew Mason from the squad because the bread man used to come at 5 o'clock. And I would give the men a break to buy bread. And everybody buy bread, Sam Gray buy bread, and put it there. Andrew Mason buy bread and eat it in my class. So I had to fire him. I don't tolerate that. But this Cappy Greenidge was extraordinary, and we should all be proud. And everything you hear tonight is true. And however they say it, they mean it from the heart. I tell you that, I know that. We got here, Bennett said he wants to say some words too. Where's Bennett? Bennett? Come, sir, you are next.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Yeah, before I get into the business, the real business, I would like whoever's driving P2683, they got somebody blocking there, we like it move, please. All right?
Somebody got to drive it, can't come back
there. Well, I come here tonight, right? I ain't come here with no long talk or nothing. I get short and sweet. McDonald said he want a long talk, so I got to go out with what my man. I got to go out with what my man say. Right? Well, all we here know, right, on the 23rd, listen to the date, right? The 23rd of August, right? A great man was laid to rest up there at St. Catherine's Anglican Church, right? The man was a political giant in Barbados, also a humanitarian giant in Barbados. I know this might help a lot of people. So nobody else said, no, can't tell me that Cappy never did nothing for them. Okay, so I want you all to search your heart. We're not going to ever see his light again, right? Nowhere in Barbados. All right, let me get further. To prove that the man was a giant, look at the giants that were done at Cover Ridge, right? We got another great giant here, the Honorable, right, Sir David Simmons. He ain't just coming here. He didn't come for me nor you, but he come for Cappy, right? That tell the type of man that he was, right? You understand? Maybe we have run-ins, right? Man never cursed. But every 3 words that he let go, he want to be a bad one, right? Everybody know me, I didn't see it. I tell you as it is, I don't care who you are, right? Because if you cut me, you cut you could got the most money in the world. And they got you less, right? We all going to bleed, right? So I don't put nobody above me, but he is one that I put above me because he always looked out for me, right? We have another gentleman here, a very great gentleman as well, Mr. Hal Got. Another great gentleman here, Maurice Mason, that taught me at Princess Margaret School the same year that I went to England. And we always lived, you know how we used to live, and still living. But like you were saying, right? All the way like over 70 here now, we in the departure lounge ready to board. Right? So I just try and live your whole life. Right? Don't everybody live your life for you. Live your life. I like my rum. And I can drink rum till the day I dead. Nobody can stop me from drinking rum. You understand? Nobody can stop Bennett from drinking rum. But my real name is Michael Miller. But Bennett's just a nickname. Right. You don't got to worry about school. You got to worry about he. You got to worry about your money blue shirt there. That's what you got to worry about. You want to worry with me. Right. Don't let me start now, yeah? Don't let me start now. You wore with my blue shirt. All right. All right. I ain't had a really good year the last 3 weeks. I'll tell you why, because I blame myself for what happened to Cappy. Because as you already know, we was down by St. Catherine Club the night before. We had a great time down there, right? We had a little challenge. He was going to challenge me to drink rum, but I know he's just making sport. Because he can't come drink here rum. When I was getting ready to leave, I told him, Cappy, man, you promised me some rum and cake for the longest time. That means you're supposed to get married. Sandra, if I knew, I always used to tell you so I tell him when I see. Right? I want some rum and cake before he told me pass. He said, man, he waited up on me. I saw you waiting up on me, you can't wait up on me, you older than me. Right? I tapped the man on his shoulder. I told him, Cappy, I will see you tomorrow at your funeral. Patrick Wilkinson's sister Margaret's funeral. When I get down by the church, I never paid any money, but I didn't see Cappy, because I got on there quite late. I didn't see Cappy. I didn't see Patrick. I didn't see Quartz. I didn't see Eleanor, because I knew they would be at the funeral, right? So I didn't really pay the money. So when the funeral, everything done, we supposed to go up by Patrick to have a little substance and thing. I see what's her name, Philomena, coming out the hill, driving fast. Bennett. I saw Robin. My God, bad news you, man. Cappy gone. I couldn't believe it. But no, I still didn't believe it. I went looking at my face twice. I still can't believe the man gone. Right? It's very hurtful. I like Mr. Mason tell you all tonight, live your life, but also live the life that God wants you to live. Right? There's a lot of foolishness going on in this world. Right? Satan down here right now. And you're walking in between everybody but you, right? So it's only us, the people that believe in the man upstairs, that can bring this country and this world back together. Yeah, but I yield to you, brother. Thanks. Yeah.
It coming from the heart, that's Bennett heart that you hear just now. That's real talk. Next person up is Mike Seal, a brother that I only met tonight. And as big as he is, I should have seen him before.
Good evening. I am not going to say much different that me said already. I may even say after me. But Cappy Greenidge, in my life, is a man of men. He was the second man in politics that I worked with. The first was, I don't know if y'all who will be here had experienced Keith Rouse. No, sorry. I think Mr. Simmons, sir. I worked. You were before Cappy. Yeah. But the first person was Keith Rouse. In St. Philip, that time it was the single member constituency. So it was Keith Rouse and Reynold Weeks, opponent. Right. And then Mr. Sir David, I worked with. Then Sir David went on to St. Thomas, Cappy came up. And Cappy Greenidge, all right. As I said, a man of men, a politician, and he's a man that could walk in his office anytime. I put on Eleanor first, and then she said, well, I might seal out here. Eleanor come back, he will see you now. Go on, eh? And Cappy got work on top of work on his desk. And Cappy can speak to Mike Seal. Mike Seal got to say, look, I see you're struggling here. I'll come back another time, or we'll see it elsewhere. And elsewhere would be at the constituency office or St. Philip around playing games or so whatever. But a man, I can't remember how Hal got here in those days with us. But I've had a recent loss within the last 2-3 years. And this is not a bragging boast. My son died, and I shed a tear for this man, for my son. I think because I didn't love him. Because I can brag and boast. Mike Seal can brag and boast that I've got one of the best family in the world. A wife, 2 children, 2 grandchildren right now, and a son-in-law. And we are well together. You know why you can say that? Because at times I slip up. But you see, conversation and sitting down and family love and care does a lot for us. Just one don't have to hold out to his or her point, which may be even stronger than yours. But compromising and so, and then we all gone back as one. And I can brag and boast on that thing. Cappy is a lot to do with as I am today. I remember in canvassing with Cappy, I don't know if there's any other person in the constituency that would have canvassed every house in St. Philip North with Cappy Greenidge. And we did it in 1 weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday. He and I. We knocked at every door and house that was available. There were some who answered, there were some who didn't. And sometimes when we knock and it take too long to come, well, you know, glasses ring. I would go and knock on the glass window with my ring on the glass window or the glass door. He said, Mike, see what you're doing. Mike, see what you're doing. You're gonna break the people's glass door. I said, no, but we want their attention. So how we can get them, let them know that we're aware. He said, man, don't take it easy. Sometimes thereafter they will come out and we will communicate with them. And more often than not, we got great response from that situation. But to make a long story short, Cappy Greenidge as we all got life, still, he's gone. And may he rest in peace.
We now call on Morel. Morel Jordan.
Good night, everyone. I'll be very brief. The mere fact that you all are here, is saying a lot for me. I had to do this for Cappy because this is something Cappy would expect of me for him. And today of all days was one of my bad days because it's Sunday when he would spend most of the day when he come to get his lunch, unless there's a family commitment, a Sunday. But we would sit and talk. I used to do most of the talking, because I like to talk. And he would just sit and listen. And he would only look up at me if I said something but he would just sit and listen. And And then he would offer me his advice. I don't think you all realize how much I miss that man. I respect him so much. I have never said a bad word in front of Cappy Greenidge. As a matter of fact, I used to get in arguments with the fellas. And when Cappy turned up, I done. Liscott and then used to say what they saying before Cappy come. And I would say, me? And I would say, Cappy, you think I said something? He would say, nah, man, you didn't gonna say so. But he know I say it. He was such a lovely person. And I respect him. I born in East Point. I moved to Marleyville with my mom at 8. Cappy was a teenager. I was a little girl. And there was something about Cappy. I was afraid of Cappy. Pam Pam, you know what I'm talking about. There was something about Cappy that I used to be afraid of. Like, I didn't want to offend this guy. It was respect from the time I was a little girl. And I would complain to for Pam Pam or Eleanor to that, you know, because, but I must say, I want to thank Eleanor, Pam Pam, Quartz, Styles, the other siblings for loaning me a big brother. I want to thank you all tonight for that. He was my friend. I love him from the bottom of my heart. If you notice, I would never lay a flylight on Cappy Greenidge. And if my toe thump, I stump my toe, I used to tell Cappy Greenidge. He knew all my deep, darkest secrets, and he would keep them for me. I would ask him for advice. He would hold his head down, and I would rant and rave, complain, and then he would say, you should do this and that. All right, Morel, I gone, I will see you. And he just leave me with that, and he would go. But he was such a wonderful person. I don't know if you all have an idea how I feel. I have never felt so heartbroken over the death of anyone but Rudolph Greenidge. And, you know I had to have his friends here tonight because I know you all felt like me. And you all wanted an occasion where you could come and express. To me, this is a cleansing. And I think I will get closure from tonight. So tonight is not about me. It's for you all to express your love and your admiration and your respect for a great, great, wonderful, decent man of the soil. He is love. He would always be love. And I would never, ever forget Cappy Greenidge. To the Greenidge family and the Clark family, you have produced a wonderful man. And I want you all to know that. And I am forever grateful that he made me his friend. Thank you very much.
Yeah, again, that real thing again. But there's one part she left out though. When we playing tongue, Cappy show up, she getting up. We got she for love, Cappy show up, she getting up. I used to wonder if she's a phone and tell you that she in trouble. As soon as he get there, she done, Cappy got to play. You believe it so? Oh boy, I know for a fact. I mean, that relationship that's true love right there. Felix Newton, we know him as Pipey, Brother Felix. Ah, here he is. Any other tongue specialist? Cappy say he ain't as hard as he look.
Good night to everyone. My first recollection of Cappy and our closeness was when I was around 17, because Cappy was about basically 14 years older than me, and therefore he would have gone to school and went overseas. So we really met when I was an adult or young adult. Our first interactions really were in Marleyville by Ralphie shop, the above shop. We recall one of our special mornings were Rain falling from 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And you're home bored. Lift up, we come up with an umbrella with this red herring. I would take a trip down the road with my umbrella. I would take a trip down the road with my umbrella. Cappy would walk through the drizzles down to the shop, and we would sit then and play cards the whole day. And it wasn't tongue then, so we used to play Romy, Whist, or Hearts. So those were the enjoyable days. Then Cappy started as a cricket commentator, and I would travel with Cappy when we were playing outside matches, Carrollton, Maple Trent, all over. I would come back home with Cappy. My first experience of Tweedside Road and its nightlife was through Cappy. Every time Cappy was in town at a game, he had to come through Tweedside Road and go by Freddy's. That was when I first saw so much parts of that magnitude and size. They were massive. Cappy was important to me in two beginnings of my life. In 1991, around the 5th of October, I got married. And Cappy was give the speech in my honor. On the 2nd of August, when I went home, I said, Onel, my wife, I got some bad news. Cappy passed away. 2 minutes, she reminded me, but Cappy speak at our wedding, and he said, Onel, Felix like a lot of cars. You gotta be patient with it. Don't make noise. Well, I can't say she don't make noise. I always have home a lot of cars, but the good thing I know, she never hide them. So they were always available for me. The next part of my life was the closing part of my work career. In August, I leave work the 1st of September 2022, pre-retirement leave. And August around the 29th, one day to go to work. I knew that something was going to happen, but my workmates were, keeping me away from it. Anyway, they came to my office and tell me come to the conference room, escort me to the conference room. Lo and behold, the big explanation, shout, and who were sitting around the big conference room table? Cappy Greenidge, Bones, David Mason, all wishing me a happy retirement from the public service. It was a touching moment. He also confided me in some small matters like how to, sometimes it's not what you say, it's who say it. And that really touched me. Because I could recall in 1994, around that time, there was a big, raging labor dispute by the Royal Shop, and also I think simultaneous one, there was one by Sandy Lane going at the same very time. The matter had been between the employer and the union. Stalemate. The matter was elevated to the chief labor officer. Stalemate. Next person will be the minister. Cappy told me he would work out the formulas and different things and propose to them, and they refused to accept it. The matter then had to be dealt with the Prime Minister. Cappy called the Prime Minister to me night time, next morning before they meet with them, give the Prime Minister the same very figures and equations and different things to solve the dispute. Owen presented the same very way, and they agreed. That show me, teach me that sometimes it's the messenger. But most important, it was the message, and Cappy delivered the message, which they refused to accept. But that is life. Cappy, I will miss Cappy. We were see one another probably every day for the last 30 years or so. We play so much cards everywhere possible. When Ralphie shop closed down, we went by Seat Drink House and play cards. When Seat Drink thing became a little slow, we went to Industry Hall to play cards together. I, when Morel built and down here became, I spent many nights in that garage. When Bones come back, endless nights by Bones. Cappy would call me on Saturdays or Sunday. Felix, where are the guys? And I would tell him where we are. Sometimes he would tell me he up the road. And I would say, okay, I will get Bones. Me, Cappy, Bones, and myself, we used to play cards relentlessly. They would had a table just for us. As a matter of fact, if me and Bones started early and the next person was playing, when Cappy arrived, that next person would get up. Just so that Cappy and three of us would be playing on the same table. And the same thing happened. If Cappy and Bones was there and I turn up, somebody would get up so that the tag team can play. Sandra, or now like I said to my wife, it's too carry sometimes are too Cappy that when it happened to all of us too, when he's getting lashes, he would say, we playing the last. Because he can't go home with that 6 love. So he would say, play. So if he get home, Sandra, an hour late, it's too Cappy. Or if I get home a bit late, it was too Cappy. But he had warned you, Felix like cards. So that is it for me. Cappy, you'll be missed. Also got the news. Well, we were all as a group at St. Catherine's on the first. Thursday, we were all together. And as mentioned earlier, the fish bite came around. And Lescott was on my left and so was on my right. Lescott got one, I had one, and still had the last of Cappy's generosity. Then at the funeral, I left early because it was a graveside funeral, and I thought that I didn't have much administrative work to do inside the church. And I went home, and lo and behold, my priest called me and told me, Felix, where you are. And I told her, I'm at home. She said, I have some unfinished business here, administrative-wise. I want a receipt written up. And I told her I will come back. And I went to the graveyard, collect the envelope from my priest, went to the church, write the receipt, and was then making my way back to the priest while she was still in the background. I was intercepted by a female who gave me the news. I walked so gingerly and heavy to the gravesite by Miss Wilkinson Marvel. I said, I have to be strong. I did what was professionally right. I took the receipt to the priest and I asked her who is the funeral undertaker, and she showed me it, and I passed on the receipt to her. And then I called the priest and told her, be strong. I just got news that Cappy passed. It was a heavy, heavy blow for me. I don't know how I've been managing. Cappy, as I said, would call me even from the office. And Heather or one would call me. Because being working in the civil service, you would have a lot of contacts. And being I was around for a little while. So anything that he wanted to know, whether it was license authority, anything, he would call me and I would return his call. And I didn't have to go through the rituals. I would just say, Pipey returning his call. You know, because we were on one-on-one basis. So those are the things that I really will miss about Cappy. I don't know how I can. I already miss Cappy. In recent times I've been playing cards and I been getting a few 6 lows. And I said, if Cappy was here, I would have somebody to beat up. Man, he would give me a lot of chat, but it was all in, friendly banter and different things. But I know that table that consists of Bones, myself, and Cappy will never be the same. We look forward to playing one another. Cappy, I really miss you. My friend, rest in peace and rise in glory.
Yeah. I guess everybody getting to understand the impact. But people may have talked just now about we all play a tongue. I don't know if you remember one of the tongue men is sick in the hospital. And we went and sat at the table. You remember who that was? Good in the hospital. We went and looked for you, and the man sat at the table and played a tongue inside the hospital. It was therapeutic. Yeah, it was part of healing. Old dog was an addict too, a tongue addict. He's who introduced the game right here, you know, old dog. A fella called Ronald Gooden, right? Ronald Gooden. You went look free, man. And the man, pipe in the desk, pipe in the corner. He said, remember all the time they playing tongue. And I said, I had to say, Lord bless you, bless them. I beg the Lord to bless them. We move on now to a personal friend, a team member from the Philippines, and a man I call the veteran. And that is not because he's that old, but he's the veteran. Mr. Hal Got. Work together, move together, roam together. Get up, man.
I'm sure before the night is over, Matt will tell you the whole story about that veteran thing. So I'm not going to tell you. But gatherings like these, when people come together to reflect on the passing of a dear friend, always remind us of our own mortality. Maurice was here telling you to get ready. Bennett was warning all those over 70 to prepare themselves. I fall in that age group, over age 70. But I'm reminded of an interview by Sir Frederick Smith on television one night. And he was talking about his past life and what he was looking forward to now that he'd retired and so on. And he said, you know, I am in the departure lounge, but I hope I'm a baby that coming from a... Because, you know, we don't know when they was arrive. But we are reminded now that if you could throw some hope with BWIA, but will it ever arrive? There's a LIAT. They leave the island anytime. So you've got to be careful with this airline thing when you try to create those analogies. But when we speak of a dear friend like Cappy, it is not easy. But then again, it is not difficult either. I was checking with Liart about his own age group. And I know of Maurice. And Liart happens to be an identical age group to me. So I would probably defer to Liart as among the people in this relatively young gathering of persons who know Cappy for a long time. But I believe that my association with Cappy had a greater degree of variety, if you want to use that word, than most people. I first met him on the school bus. He's about 2 years older than I am. And I met him on the Bayfield school bus, Route 10 school bus, when Cappy was going down to Harrison College, and I was a 9-year-old going to Combermere. And in those days, his nickname on the school bus was Philly. And that was the name he had on the bus. I believe the name Cappy, he told me, came from Harrison College. Cappy for Capitan. And Cappy and I had that relationship from the school bus. Then, of course, we taught at Princess Margaret together. And we went on and on and on, sharing various experiences. He played cricket for Burton under me. A lot of people didn't know that. I captained him playing for Burton. And Mac was talking tonight about that 440 yards. He is a modern athletics man, so he made a mistake and talk about 400 meters. And I remember that race particularly well. Those were the days when there was a tremendous rivalry between not only Harrison College and Lodge, but there was a rivalry between town and country. There was the Harrison College Lodge rivalry, and they used to put Combermere in between the two of them to avoid the obvious row and the inevitable fighting that would happen if the two schools got too close together. Try to avoid it, yes. You remember I don't know if you remember the 1963 camp in Grenada when Mosquito Griffin and somebody had a row down there. Anyhow, and I remember that race particularly because as Mac recalled, Bertram Catwill was a star. And he only had to go to the start. And the rest would have been history. And I remember that day. As they took the bend by the scoreboard, y'all may be too young to know about the track at Kensington. There was this dark fella moving his hand like that. Cappy's a total left-hander. And he was moving his hand like that. And the boys in the college stand shouted, "Cappy!" Well, we St. Philip boys who travel on the school bus, the Route 10 school bus, identified with that shout. And that was a way of getting even with the boys from town because we had produced from St. Philip a champion. So that meant a lot to us, meant a great deal to us. Matt spoke about our days as Philippians athletes. Maurice was a shot putter. Matt, you don't remember that? Maurice was a shot putter. I was a reasonably good high jumper. And quite a quick 60-yard man. As a matter of fact, Ralph Weeks, whom he talked about, used to get me to give him some starting practice. It's quick out the blocks. Mark, I leave the story for the veteran thing in the high jumping for you, man. And Cappy was, in those days, I remember the first race we ran at the stadium. We were all then, by the time the stadium came along, we were going out of it. And Cappy started a relay race for Philippians, and I ran the second leg. And I moved too quick and never got the baton from Cappy. So we had some great days, some great days at Princess Margaret and Philippians. And as teachers, as people who are interested in sport, athletics, people who are interested in cricket, and generally dominoes. We used to play a lot of dominoes in those days. Princess Margaret School had staff had a domino team, and we played all across the place. And Cappy was a very prominent member of that team. And general conviviality. We used to fish as well. And this isn't, you people really don't know the variety of things we did at that school. One summer, we all decided we were going to fish. And Cappy and all the boys, Bernard Griffith and all the fellas from up this side, we went along the rocks up there around Merrick's, and we had some lines. And I was a boy from Britain, far enough from the sea, ain't know nothing about fishing, but I gone with the fellas to fish. And the first thing you had to do is to put that hook on the line. So I see the fellas using the teeth to draw the thing on the hook. And I drawing and drawing and drawing. And then I feel the hook, the line will move. The hook in my mouth. You were there? And the fellas panic. The fellas panic. So Patrick Critchler was around. I said, man, come here, man. And Patrick took a old pliers or something, cut off the eye, and do that. Did something like this. Man, go down there and wash out your mouth, man. And there was a sequel to it. I mean, I caught myself. But that same day, I caught the biggest fish of anybody. And inexperienced again, didn't know anything about fishing, but I ran all across the cliff with this line, didn't know how to haul it in. But we enjoyed those days. We enjoyed those days. And Cappy, I must say that I owe another special debt of gratitude to Cappy. And a lot of people would not know this, and Cappy would not be the kind of person to talk about it. But when I was called to the bar on the 6th of October, 1994, I had done my pupillage with David Simmons, as he then was, Sir David now. And we had, an election had just gone, and Cappy was appointed a minister of government. And Cappy said to me, Golly, I want you to go and practice in my office. And I walked down the road after I was called to that office down there on Lucas Street. And that is where I started to practice. The number which I inherited from Cappy, I still have. 436-8862. That was Cappy's number. And we developed a really, really good professional relationship. And of course, that extended into politics. I was always interested in politics in this part of St. Philip's, starting back in 1971 with David Simmons again. But of course, as a civil servant, you had to keep away from the firing line. You had to hide and do a little thing, a little canvassing and so on. But by 1994, I was then called to the bar. I was free to get involved. And my first speech was not in St. Philip, but in St. Thomas, in Bibby's Lane. And a good friend of ours and a staunch campaigner for David, Peter Scott, late Peter Scott, may he rest in peace. Peter Scott always said to people, this man's maiden speech was 1 hour and 10 minutes. That was the first speech I made on a political platform. It was significant then because Cappy was running up here at the same time in 94, but he was running against Warwick, my first cousin. So I stayed away from the firing line up here. And I threw my hat in the ring in St. in St. Thomas. By 1999, though, Cappy had beaten Warwick in 94, and Warwick took retirement. And I threw in my lot up here with Cappy and the fellas. As Maurice would tell you, I was one of the fellas who was really, really involved very, very heavily in that campaign. I remember some nights we used to have three meetings in the same night. So well organized that platform was. And Cappy always insisted that I speak before him, because I was also to introduce him towards the end of my speech. And, you know, Cappy was a reluctant politician. I don't think Cappy ever fully embraced all the, it's not attributes, because attributes are positive things. All those negative qualities that we associate with politicians seem to miss Cappy, or Cappy avoided them. So that Cappy was an ideal candidate for St. Philip, given the fact that in those days, St. Philip was a hard dem area. As a matter of fact, by the time Cappy came along, but Cappy was a dem too, so I mean, he was able to bridge the gap. So by the time Cappy came along, it was significant that Cappy tamed Burton. Cappy tamed Burton. Maurice, I don't know if you remember the meeting we had in Burton in 1999, when we had great difficulty with the public address system. And the people stayed on. We had about 3 or 4 interruptions. And the people stayed on that night in Burton. Now, Burton was a place where you can hold a meeting if you're a Labour Party candidate in 71. In those days, David Simmons ran in 71. And between Ebenezer and Burton, I think he got 24 votes. But that was the extent of the support that Burton and Ebenezer across the road threw behind the Democratic Labour Party. And, well, it's the same thing about this up here. This Marleyville area presents a very interesting sociological situation. Because Marleyville, in all those bad years, has always voted for the Labour Party. David would tell you in 71, he got 683 votes. And against Neville Maxwell, he got about 2 or 3. Maxwell got 3,000 and something. But he beat you by 2,000. But David beat him in this box. And Maxwell lived just across the road there. It is a strange sociological phenomenon that is deserving of some kind of investigation. What it was or is about Marleyville that could have made it such an outstanding Labour Party stronghold. Significantly, the first time a Dem ever won it, I believe, was Michael Ashley in 2003. 2003. Yeah, but Cappy was a good man. And I think that is the greatest tribute that you can pay to any person. He was a good man and a good friend, a good colleague. Cappy was an exemplar. And I was unable to come up to the burial because on that same day, a cousin's husband, Clark, the NUPW man, Dennis Clark was buried, so I had to, and it was a Friday at that, so I had to leave off from Coral Ridge to go back to the office to do something and then to get to St. Luke's for 3 o'clock. So I was unable to visit up here to the burial. But I'd spoken to Quarks. I got an opportunity to speak to Quarks, I think the day of the announcement of his death. But I should like now to say more formally to all those of the members of the family whom I was not able to speak with about Cappy's death and to offer my condolences because the church was quite packed, so very few people might have known that I was there. But I think we should all be fortified in the fact that Cappy did a good service to his community, to his country. And that is important. He was suitably rewarded as the Order of the Republic, which is indeed a significant honor that could be accorded to a citizen of Barbados. And I would just like again to wish all of you, the family, the best. Extend my thanks to you, to him through you, for our friendship, our camaraderie, and all the things that went to the relationship between Cappy and me. And one would only wish to say, may his soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
You sit down, man. Sit down. We now move on to another star athlete. It wasn't only Cappy that dominated in sports. We have a gentleman here that was one of the fastest in Barbados. Brought a record that I think they didn't want to give him. Yeah. Former trumpeter, former politician, former everything. But a great man. One of our own. Grew up in St. Philip. Tried the best to make it in town. And still in town for some reason. But he's here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir David Simmons.
The Master of Ceremonies, family and friends of Cappy, residents of Marleyville. I see a number of my former constituents and friends here. I'm so happy to see everybody. And by the way, Maurice, I have to listen to his words of wisdom because he's a old lodge boy. And he said tonight that we should get prepared. And everybody has been talking about how young they are. But I am 84. I probably older than all of you. But I'm still holding on. And as a former opening batsman, I play with bat and pad. No big shots at 84. Otherwise I get out. And I don't have death as a priority. Singles, taking it for singles. Let me say that I wish to congratulate Morel first for having arranged this evening. It isn't often that this kind of thing happens, where a stalwart, one that we have admired, passes, and then we gather in recognition of his former existence and the contribution he made here on earth. And it's very important that this event should have occurred. And when she invited me early in the week, unhesitatingly I came. I was late because you didn't have the kind of rain in St. Philip that we had at Neil's today, or the people in St. Peter had, because I'm told that down there had some serious flooding. And of course, just as I was about to leave, West Indies were on the point of winning the T20. So I had to watch the last 2 overs to make sure that happened. Now, Hal mentioned that Cappy was at one time a dem. And that was nothing to be wondered at, because in 1971, when I was persuaded by Bree St. John, against my own better judgment, to run in St. Philip North, I met Cappy's father somewhere out by Merrick's. And he put such a abusing on me that I almost turned my mind, CB. He was the Democratic Labour Party in this part of St. Philip. So I wasn't surprised when someone told me in 1994 that Cappy wanted to run. In fact, that Cappy was going to run, and Owen had persuaded him. I'll tell you that story shortly. But before that, I had found out that Cappy, like Pablo Johnson and Joseph Mason, who were Dems, had seen the light and turned. And that was when I had a set of chambers in Lucas Street. Hal was there. Cappy was there. Philip Pilgrim was there, and before them, Leroy Innes. And from the Stewart, of course. And so I feel a sense of pride tonight that I was head of chambers that produced 4 QCs, all 4 of them. Outstanding lawyers in their own right. And it was when Cappy was learning the ropes in the chambers that we would talk politics all the time, but especially on Friday evenings after work. And we were able to see him turning. But he had not fully turned. In fact, Bree St. John always said that Quartz had turned, but not Cappy. So, in 1994, Owen Arthur asked me to be campaign manager for the Barbados Labour Party's campaign. And when we were looking at candidates and so on, we come to St. Philip North. And he said, we can't find a body for St. Philip North. Owen said, that ain't true. I got a man. He said, who? He said, man, Cappy. I said, Cappy, you sure? He said, David Simmons, leave that to me. I didn't interfere after that. I was told that Cappy was going to run, and my job was to make sure that he won the seat that I had won in 1976. And that meant that I had quite a large number of canvassers and friends all about the constituency. And I was able to write a list out for Cappy. I had the whole island as campaign manager to look after, but St. Philip North, I said, no, you deal with these people. Hal was one of the prime people that was responsible for Cappy winning in 1994. Well, we won the election handsomely, and Cappy came into the cabinet with me and Owen, and he was an excellent cabinet colleague, very thoughtful, never spoke out of turn, never was moved to anger, always was very measured in what he said. And he commanded the, I wouldn't say the floor, if you like, but that cabinet room on many an occasion when he had to bring cabinet papers and introduce them to the rest of us around the table. He was a superb but quiet operator. Cappy was not showy and not given to bluster and so on. As I said, very, very careful, quiet, and measured. And I cannot think seriously and genuinely, I cannot think of any member of cabinet who did not get on with Cappy Greenidge. You know, in cabinet you have factions, you have people who are more friendly with one another, with somebody else, and not yourself and so on. But Cappy was friends with everybody. They couldn't say a bad word about him. And as minister responsible for sport and the National Sports Council, which I had had the honor to chair when Lionel Craig was minister for sport, Cappy did a wonderful job at the Sports Council. I inherited when I went to St. Thomas, and after spending some years there, Cappy built that pavilion at Bridgefield. Cappy Greenidge built that. His name should be on it now. It was at one time. I hope they haven't taken it down, but his name was on that lovely pavilion and that ground at Bridgefield, an excellent cricket ground. I had the pleasure and distinct honor of recommending him after many years for silk. And he got it, well deserved. But above all else, many of you would not know, but I spent 8 years as chairman of the Integrity Commission of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Cappy Greenidge was a legend, hear me, a legend in the Turks and Caicos Islands. He and Leroy Innes, and to a lesser extent Charlie Best, but I was told during my time as chairman of the Integrity Commission of Turks, always about the impression and the indelible mark that Cappy left in Turks and Caicos Islands. And we should therefore be proud as people from St. Philip, and those of you who interacted with him throughout his life should be proud to know that even beyond the shores of Barbados, his qualities as a human being were recognized and applauded. Eleanor called me on the morning that he passed and told me I was in shock, because only the previous week Cappy had called me and asked me about some legal problem, and we had discussed it. And it is not often that you get a jolt so early in the morning, but that one hit me hard, and I just tuned out for the rest of the day. I got a little diabetes, so I can't drink liquor too hard now, but I felt like drinking some liquor that day and drowning my sorrows. I was very, very upset that my friend had just passed like that. Because Cappy, every year, there were certain things that were routine. I could get a call, David, don't forget, we got the competition for Tinley. I got St. Patrick, Grisette, to pass in to get a little something to contribute. Every year. That's how Cappy operated. He was a quiet but effective and efficient organizer, particularly of sporting events. And as I said, his mark in so many areas in Barbados is indelible. It was my fortune to have had Cappy as a friend, to have had him, as it were, succeed me, yes, for the Labour Party in 1994, and then to win the seat again in 1999. It was not easy because, as Hal has said, until I won it in 1976, St. Philip, and particularly St. Philip North, was like a desert for the Barbados Labour Party, like breaking rocks up here. As a member of the Barbados Labour Party, Dems were heavily entrenched. But Cappy and I left our respective contributions to this constituency and this parish over time. I did not know him as an athlete. I knew he was a cricket commentator, but I've always heard, and he told us in cabinet about this 440 yards that he won at Kensington. And that is part of athletic legend, like the famous 880 yards race with Earl Glasgow and Tom Clark. Tom Clark, who was at CBC. That is part of the lore, the folklore of athletics, schoolboy athletics. And Mark, I thank you for remembering that I also use these 2 feet fairly quickly. 100-meter champion. Oh, you want to hear that story? 1960 at Independence, at inter-school sports. I had the lane in front of the Kensington stand, which is now the Greenidge and Haynes stand. The judges were on the inside of the track. You were down there, you remember, Maurice? You don't remember it? Anyhow, the 100 yards gone. I hit the tape and got the tape wrapped all around me and looking back at them. So. Yeah, and I had the tape wrapped around me long time. And 2 or 3 more behind trying to catch me. And the Lodge boys now gone wild. They used to call me Mentone because of the racehorse that was so fast. And the honor for Mentone. Well, see a big crowd around the judges. So I went back and I heard them. This time there was Irving King, who was the games master at Foundation, a fellow became Dr. Victor Evelyn. He was Victor Evelyn. Had Victor Evelyn's hand holding, so pushing him. Well, the judges gave Victor Evelyn first, Paul King second, Hal Got third. Was Simmons in place? No. In place? No. I quarreled and got on bad and so on. Said I wasn't running 220. And then it was coming to a close finish between Lodge and Foundation. By which time the Lodge boys had seen what Irving King had done and had christened him. I just used to call me Mentone to christen him Thiefing King. And we had to do the relay. Wilkes was the game master, and he said to me, Simmons, you have to run. You didn't run the 220, you got to run the relay. But I was always going to run the ankle leg. And I told him, sir, I'm so angry about what happened today. I can run fast and break up that record. And did it. We did 40.2 in those days. And there is, if you go on YouTube, you will see Sir David Simmons' Life in Focus. I think it's either episode 1 or episode 2. There's a photograph of me winning that relay. And Victor Evelyn all the way back down there by the house. Come now, 6th of June, 1960. Same Kensington. National championships now. I won the semi-finals at Combermere. Then in Weymouth. Gone down to Kensington for the finals. Race start, win the thing, cantering. Beat them badly. Everton Beats was government sports officer. And he came to me and said, Sims, you got to run this race over. I said, I do what? You got to run the race over. I said, what do you mean? What, just win the thing? He said, no false start. Run too fast. He said, but the watches can't agree. Somebody got 9.9 and another 9.8 and somebody got 10. And it said, schoolboy can't run so fast, you got to run it over. 1 hour and a half there, they had to go and run it over again. This time beating them worse. Clear. And they give me time flat. Equal Agostini record, Michael Agostini. So, St. Philip, you know, I spent 12 years up there, you know, from 1948 to 1960 at Dodds. Not as an inmate, but, you know, my old man was in charge then. And Hal's father worked along with him. So I had a lot of friends in St. Philip and in Marleyville from those days when Dodds used to come and play St. Catherine's across there in a Dodge truck P44. And St. Catherine's had men like Paul Maloney, with whom I played cricket in England when I was up there studying. A chap called Chiley, beautiful player, beautiful player. Harold Pierce. Huh? Who's that? Yeah, but Gaga Stewart used to play. Ezra's father. All them. I know. I saw all of them playing. And of course, Chesley Blades, who was a big noise here. He worked at Dodds as an overseer down there. But this could go on all night. So, and everybody hungry now, and I am thirsty. So look, it was wonderful seeing you all, interacting with you, and socializing. I look forward to. Yeah, I got another half an hour before I lose my visa. So, thanks everybody for the occasion, the privilege of this session.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sir David. All right, we're getting close to the end now, but it just came back to me, sir, that fella King, like it was a problem even after you left, because we at Foundation King, they had a race that we had in the sports at the stadium when I was teaching, and there were the big commotion when the King was there talking about this fella come from, and they tried to explain him that the guy that won was around the corner now walking back. So he walked up the same way. He didn't see them concentrating on maybe two people from their school or something, and they. Yeah, and then the fellow was around the corner walking by. He said, "Had 20 men, had to that's the man that win the race." You see him, fella King, it's easy. And just now, when everybody started talking about what happened to them on the morning that we got that news, that was a Friday morning, correct? Fingal is now trying to move from McDonald Fingal to Matt Fingal. Because the finals, I had to do the finals. And I just get up and start preparing from then to become that person. And me tell you, it's hard. I packed everything and said, what happened. And then I recover around 3 o'clock and then try again. It's hard. You say, Cappy built up a building at Bridgeville? Or you can try and see what happened there. Yeah. The thing with the stopwatches, it ain't only your problem. You used to take the 2 first places, but we didn't have no electronic timing. So you get the 2 watches would do first place, 2 would do second. We had a fellow called Sam Scott, and he ran the 100 yards at that time. And Goggy Clark, I don't know if you know him, and Mr. Frost were timing. Goggy right up in there. And Goggy looked at the watch, he said, "Parent Trent, you're going to have to use yours because I didn't get it." Frost said, "I got 9.7. He said, "Jesus Christ, I got that too." Because he could believe that nobody could do, that nobody never used to do under 10 at that time. He do 9.7. Sam Scott. Them is the real stories. And the last story I got to tell you is about this man, because he wants to, you say Cappy, you know, he had this sense of humor. He used to lose the cool, which is true. But Cappy was deadly here. One day, David Thompson get in Parliament or somewhere. I said, "Okay, Cappy look funny." Cappy said, "I funny, but I ain't girlish." You just don't trouble Cappy here. I mean, you see, I ain't hear Thompson speak since then. Huh? I ain't gonna get you full story. I did drive in when it come over the ear, right here on the ear. I almost went off the road. I did drive in there when that place that had I can tell you what it was too. You know they got a drugstore, not a drugstore, a hardware store somewhere in Sanford. I pull off this and they said, go ahead, Caps. Go ahead.
Thompson in the house trying to get at Cappy. Said he went visiting some old woman. And the name Cappy Greenidge came up. And the old lady said, but he always looking so dungy. Cappy said, I sure seen I look girly though.
Well, that's it. That is it right there. Oh, Lord have mercy. The last note I put here, Hal, is when you were speaking about the fish, where you caught yourself. I never heard that before. And I said that maybe at that time you were selfish. The last person to speak tonight is none other than the man that represents us, as you say, Philip, whenever you get the chance in the newspapers and the radio, wherever he is. Yes, true St. Philip man, Mr. Ezra Stewart. Come on, brother. Where's Pumbaa? Come up, sir. Pumbaa. Another tongue specialist, I hear.
Good night, everyone. So, David, it's always a pleasure to see you. And in fact, I think I came to prominence as a cricketer way back in 1981 in your David Simmons knockout cricket competition. Martyville won the competition. I was man of the match in the final. We defeated a strong Blaze team, real strong, Clyde Beckers, Milton Small a lot.
Excuse me, PA 2683. Yeah, look, this young man would love to pass, please.
I made 60-something. I can't remember the exact score, but I remember Bombers giving me a bounce saying, probably parking my big afro at the time. But tonight is a different night. Tonight is a bittersweet moment for me. In fact, when I came tonight, Pirate told me that I had to speak. And I guess he went on to mention the domino competition that we had, the Rudolph Cappy Greenidge domino competition for districts in St. Philip. And as the principal organizer of most of the sporting competitions that Cappy would have hosted in St. Philip, I probably would be able to share a few things about how some of these competitions came to be in. And I must say that Cappy trusted me wholeheartedly to organize these competitions, and never once he would have interfered in the organization. You know, I would just come up with the rules. I remember the first time we had the domino competition, I went to Maurice, who was a vice president of the National Domino Federation, and he gave me the rules, and we put together the competition based on those rules. Obviously, I made a few changes because we were doing the competition for a politician in St. Philip North, so we had to make some stipulations that only people from St. Philip could participate in the tournament. That did not sit well with the domino players stroke Barbados, and many of them found ways to play in the tournament. They would just turn up and sit down in the thing. But we used to go around every Friday night. So when I see a guy that I don't know playing in this tournament, obviously I would tell you, boy, you can't play anymore. I would just politely go to whoever was the captain or manager of that district and let them know that this person is, you know, not eligible to play because it was a tournament for people in St. Philip. People want us to bring in guest players and all kinds of different things, but the whole publicity of the tournament, the coverage, you know, and on the radio stations and in the newspapers. I wasn't working at the Nation at the time. I was at Caribbean News Agency then, but I was able to get the reports. And I remember men used to play just to get in double figures, you know, Harvey Jones and all them guys, just to get the name in the paper, or to hear I mentioning that they share a couple of six loves also. So David, you built this road through here, this new St. Catherine's road. I was a little boy at the time, and I remember you was very instrumental in getting this road for us as the then Member of Parliament for St. Philip North. This was one of the many roads. Yeah, he rode up through Martyville, by the Skeets and everything. But getting back to the competition, so we had a lot of competitions going on. We had cricket, dominoes, we had the fun walk for the women, where Cappy was very big on prizes. And Cappy will go overseas and shop for these prizes. And there were not cheap prizes in any way. I remember only a few years ago meeting up with, can call his name, Kenrick from the Wellows Pirates. Any man come up to me, I think we were there at the place in Wellows, the lady.
MM46.
MM46. Yeah, just move your vehicle a little bit. We'll continue. Yeah, but Kenrick was telling me he was still wearing this watch that he won as a prize when Wellows Pirates. No, Wellows Pirates. So they were the bronze men when Wellows bronze men won the domino tournament. And this was like 15 years after the competition had ended. He was still wearing the watch. So we used to get some really fantastic prizes. We were the envy of the entire Barbados, so to speak, in terms of the prizes. We got trips to a Caribbean island for the top pair, you know, and I remember when we moved from just giving out trophies, after a while, the teams said they wanted prize money. And Cappy at first was reluctant to go that route because he felt it would have caused some kind of controversy. People would then start to get too eager to win, and they will go at all kinds of lengths. But in the end, he relented, and we came up with prize money, and the teams were able to benefit when they won. Because in the initial days, I think we used to give the winner 5 cases of beers, 3 cases of beers for second place, that kind of thing. So even in terms of the prize giving, what I will do is to put together all the prizes, and then we will go down by Blaze Trophy or Trophy World. And I just used to tell Cappy how much it cost. He would turn up the Friday or so with this checkbook, write the check, collect the trophies, and then we will have these big prize giving ceremonies. I remember one at Hilda Skeen, and the current Prime Minister, Mayor Motley, the Honorable Mayor Motley, she attended that, and she was complimenting Cappy about how the award ceremony was, and she was saying that she would really love to have something like that in her constituency. Even at the funeral wake, Glenn Clark was telling me, you remember me, I participated in the walk. And even though it was for women, many men participated as well. Yeah, Hal told me he used to walk, but I think that when the women finished, he would be still, you know, it started up 6 rows, and then we went to Beulah and then come through the whole area. So I guess when the women finished, I will be now coming down Martyville with the others. But it also was good in terms of like, let me go back to my early days with Cappy, because just coming out of school, leaving foundation, going on to community college, I remember then I had to look for a job. And in those days, you had to get someone to write a testimonial for you. You can get references. And Cappy was one of my references who wrote the testimonial, along with my school teacher then, Robert Bobby Maurice. And that played a huge role in I getting my first job as a teacher back at just about 19 years old. You know, imagine a young fella like me teaching people, you know. So I followed him into teaching. A lot of people felt that I should have also followed him into politics. You know, I don't know how successful I would have been. I'm sure that maybe all the girls in St. Philip would have voted for me. But Cappy was really an inspiration for me and for my entire life. And I will always be grateful for the part that he played in assisting me and giving me the responsibility for organizing the majority of his sporting competitions. And on that note, I was telling people while at the funeral, when I look at the dates and everything that he was born, and when I heard his brother Quartz saying that he would celebrate his 80th birthday on December the 6th, it dawned on me that I should get back into organizing. And I mentioned it to a few guys, Stephen from Extreme Body Mechanic, that we should have a Rudolph Cappy Greenidge Memorial Dominoes and Tonk tournament. And I am looking, I've already did a bit of research, so Independence Day could be the starting point. We could have 2 days, one for Tonk, one for Dominoes. We're looking at the afternoon of Independence Day. After the national awards, obviously, you don't want to interfere with that. So we can have it on Independence Day, which is a Saturday, and continue on the Sunday, and then climax on December 6th, which would have been his 80th birthday. So he will celebrate it in heaven, but we will be down here celebrating on the Tonk tables and on the domino tables. And I'm sure that once I participate, I will emerge the Tonk champion. You know. But that is what I'm thinking about. I will just get together with Stephen and some others, Quartz, and we could come up with this massive Rudolph Cappy Greenidge Memorial Dominoes and Tonk competition, starting Independence Day and climaxing on December 6th. So, Cappy, that's it for me until we meet again. But you will always be in our hearts. Thank you for all you have done.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we did say that I would be the last speaker, and so we got some festivities here. We still got some food to eat and drink. And I'm feeling a different breeze coming here. I'm not seeing the clothes, but they get a little different tone. I want to take the opportunity to offer my condolences again to the family and all the friends. Heartfelt. I mean, it's just different. It's just different. So I'm glad to know that we are able today to celebrate lives more so than you have to grieve. But we used to mourn before all the time. Let's mourn all the time. Now we celebrate. And this is a life worth celebrating. I remember there's a poet called Horace that had said, he said, we shall build a monument more lasting than bronze, which the wasting rains nor elapsing time will destroy. Our records will not be written on stone, but in the hearts of men. And if you think of Cappy, I think that is fitting for him also. I think that he did build a monument more lasting than bronze, which the wasting rains nor elapsing time will destroy. And surely his record probably will not be written in stone, but definitely it is in the hearts of men. Cappy Greenidge. We celebrate him, and we just got to carry on. We all know about the good things, his humility, his integrity, his honesty, his patience, his avoidance of curse words. And then what we could do for him is to practice those things in his honor. Practice those things. Be like Cappy and do it that way. And also set out to achieve something, to be somebody, to make a difference. And that's what he did. You cap off at this time, as a pun. And I believe Tanya, she wanted to do one thing because she's a singer, and she wanted to sing one of Cappy's favorite songs. Cappy used to sing, but not publicly. He would sing inside there, where we got karaoke. More people would force him to sing, he would sing a few lines. But when Cappy sang, he always sang a lot of English. He would sing, like he wouldn't say, like if he had to sing Big Belly Man, he wouldn't sing it like me. Cappy wouldn't sing, I ain't dancing with no big belly man. Cappy would sing, I'm not dancing with any big belly person. You know, he sang English all the time. This is Tanya Clark, a singer, an established singer, and she will now sing one of Cappy's favorite songs. And as soon as she's finished, you're free to get up and go and replenish if you have to replenish, or just plenish.
Good night, everybody. This afternoon when Auntie Morel called me, I could not say no. I was told this song that I'm going to try to sing because I don't know it, but I know most of you here know it. And I'm going to try to sing it, and I would expect that you would help me sing it as well. We are singing it in honor of Cappy, so everybody can join in with me. All right? I can try, Bennett. I can try. So, all right. He's going to play it, and I'm sure, like I said, you will help me sing it. All right? When you hear it, you know it. And I'm sure most of you know it. Or know what his favorite song was. You don't. Anybody but you. Everybody knows this, eh? Turn it up a little bit more, please. You lit up the room. That's what I'm talking about, because I'm now learning it, so you're going to help me sing it. The moment you entered, I could have surrendered. Yes, sing it for me. Your silhouette was just a vision in every dream. And when our eyes met, I can sing it. My knees became weak and my heart started racing away. You left me breathless when I saw you heading my way. Holding you now, well, is all I can do to believe. If this is the love, baby, don't wake me up from the dream. And I'm sure everybody knows this now. 'Cause baby, you're turning and turning my world upside down. I can know better, but there is no turning back now. And I never knew love could take me so high, take me to heaven and take me tonight. But whatever you do, baby, don't take your hands off my heart. The warmth of your touch is just still learning. It's coming out. The warmth of your touch is just too much for me to ignore. I've never known wanting me like this before. When all that's between you and I is the air that we breathe. The passion in you, baby, brings out the woman in me. 'Cause baby, you're turning and turning my world upside down. And I should know better, but there is no turning back now. And I never know love could
take me so high, take me to heaven and take me tonight. But whatever you do, baby, don't take your hands off my heart. Oh, and I never know love. Take me to heaven and take me tonight. But whatever you do, baby, don't take your hands off my heart. Oh, whatever you do, baby, don't take your hands off my heart. Thank you very much.
Good job, well done. Listen, this is all over, but we're celebrating. So 3 cheers for the great man, Cappy Greenidge. Give it up, hip, hip, hip. Hip, hip. Hip, hip, hip. Okay, you can go on and get some refreshments and partake. And Mr. DJ, play some Cappy music, please.
The original song.
Enough respect, man. You're a great man too, man.
Yes, sir.
I want to go before you. I can't live, man. Make a Cappy kill me, man.
Oh,
you love to say
Lit up the room simply by just walking in. The moment you entered, I could have surrendered right there. Your silhouette was the vision in my every dream. And when our eyes met, you shook the earth under me. My knees became weak and my heart started racing away. You left me breathless when I saw you headed my way. Holding you now, well, it's all I can do to this isn't love, baby, don't wake me up from the dream. 'Cause baby, you're turning and turning my world upside down. I should know better, but there ain't no turning back now. Hey, I've never known love to take me so high. Take me to heaven and take me tonight. But whatever you do, baby, don't take your hands off my heart. The warmth of your touch is just too much for me to ignore. I've never known wanting you, wanting me like this before. When all that's between you and I is the air that we breathe. The passion in you, baby, brings out the woman in me. Baby, you're turning and turning my world upside down. I should know better. touch me, and I end up singing. Small boat seems to up and disappear. You touch me with the love you're bringing. I can really lose when you're near. When you're near, my love, if all my friends have forgotten half the promises and not unkind, just hard to find. One look at you and I know that I could learn to live without a rest. I found the best when there's no getting over that rainbow. When my smallest dreams won't come true, and I can take all the badness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. When there's no getting over that rainbow, when my smallest dreams won't come true, and I can take all the madness the world has to give, but I won't last a day without you. Here I am at 6 o'clock in the morning, still thinking about you. It's still hard at 6 o'clock in the morning to sleep without you, and I know that mine seems too late for love. All I know, I need it now, more than words can say. I need it now. I've got to find a way. I need it now. Before I lose my mind, I need it now. Here I am, looking out my window. I'm dreaming about you. Can't let go. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I feel you beside me, and I know that mine seems too late for love, for love.
Give me one more night. Just give me one more night. Give me one more night. You know I can't wait forever. I've been trying oh so long to let you know how I feel. So if I stumble